Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place that takes your source material and really digs out those essential nuggets of knowledge for you. Today, we're doing something a bit different, actually. We're taking a deep dive into something that looks simple on the surface, a children's book, but we think it holds some, well, universal insights about memory. Our mission, really, for you listening, is to unpack how a story that's, designed for maybe ages 3 to 8, how that can reveal some pretty profound truths about how our brains learn and how they hold on to information. Doesn't matter if you're 3 or, frankly, 93. We've got a great little stack of sources here. We have the front and back covers of this really delightful book. It's called I Went on a Walk Today by Marcy Schaaf. We also have specific notes someone sent in about memory improvement for kids, which kind of sparked this. And it's pretty neat. We even have an audio track of the Curious Walk song, which really brings the book's world to life. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's discover how rhythm, rhyme, and maybe some ridiculous surprises can actually boost brain power for all this. Okay, so this book.
Let's start with the core concept, maybe. I went on a walk today. It basically follows this character Turtle on a walk, just a simple walk. But it turns into this kind of parade of quirky animal friends. And the back cover promises that with each step, the list grows longer and funnier, which sounds engaging right away.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here, I think, is how the book itself, even though it's for young kids, ages 3 to 8, it explicitly tells you what it's doing. It calls itself a read-aloud memory game, and it says it boosts brain power through rhythm, rhyme, and ridiculous surprises on every page. So it's not just accidental fun, it's a deliberate design. It's built for cognitive engagement, which makes you wonder, right, what is it about those things, rhythm, rhyme, surprise, that makes them so powerful for memory, especially for developing minds? And importantly, how do those ideas apply later in life?
Right. And it mentions that phrase, the magic of remembering what made you smile. That feels really key.
Yeah.
I wonder, how crucial is that positive emotional link? I mean, can we learn stuff effectively without enjoying it? Or is that smile, that enjoyment, sort of essential for making it stick? Plus, like you said, it's overt. It even has that bonus memory challenge right at the end. Can you name them all? It's directly asking for a recall.
Well, that's a great point. That emotional connection, it's huge. Now, sure, you can learn things by rote, just drilling them in. We've all done it. But cognitive science research consistently shows that emotional engagement acts like, well, like a tag, especially positive emotion. It basically tells your brain, hey, pay attention, this is important, or fun. And that significantly boosts memory consolidation, makes it easier to pull that information back out later. So when something makes you smile or curious or you laugh, it's like super glue for that memory. This book just nails that, creating this loop where the fun of the story actually helps the memory part.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And it gets even clearer when we look at the specifics, right? Like, who are these animals in the parade? It's not just a fox or a pig. The details are what seem to make it work. Like the back cover mentions, a joke-telling fox, a pig in pudding, and a beaver brushing his knee. Pretty vivid stuff. And the song, the Curious Walk song, it paints an even richer picture. We get, let's see, the fox telling a joke, glancing at a tree, the pig in pudding, which is just great. Oh, and the beaver. The song says, brushing teeth, tapping his feet. The back cover said, brushing his knee. Slight difference, kind of interesting. Then there's a raccoon with glasses reading a map, a squirrel with a trumpet wearing a cap, an owl in a suit giving a speech, a frog in a boat rowing the beach. Okay. A hedgehog rolling by like a spinning top, a butterfly band making treetops pop, a bear in pajamas waving hello, a deer on a skateboard, gliding with grace, a caterpillar dancing, a monkey on stilts. It's quite the list.
Exactly. And if you connect that back to memory principles, these are classic mnemonic devices, aren't they? These incredibly specific, often really funny scenarios. They turn what could be just a boring list of animals into something you can see, something multisensory. Our brains are just much better at grabbing onto novelty, onto weird associations than abstract lists. And the repetition in the song helps too, phrases like step by step, the world comes alive, or on Turtle's curious walk, it turns to parade. That rhythm reinforces the sequence. It literally makes the forest a circus, like the song says. Learning becomes this exciting charade, not a chore.
It really is fascinating. You look at this simple kids book, prompted by that note about memory improvement for kids, and suddenly you see these powerful learning principles that apply way beyond childhood.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Maybe you're prepping for a meeting or trying to get up to speed in a new area, or you're just, curious about how learning works.
Yeah, that's the key question, isn't it? How do we, as adults, take these lessons from Turtle's Walk? Because the power of rhythm, rhyme, and ridiculous surprises, that doesn't just switch off when you turn 9. It really highlights how we can make any information more memorable. The The takeaway boils down to a few things, really. First, try to structure information like a story. Even dry facts can have a narrative arc if you try. Our brains love stories.
Turn facts into fiction, almost.
Sort of, or at least give them characters and actions. Second, use vivid imagery. Don't be afraid to make it absurd. The weirder the mental picture, honestly, the better it sticks.
Like the pig and pudding. You won't forget that easily.
Exactly. Third, find that emotional connection. What makes you curious? What surprises you? What makes you smile, like the book says? That's the super glue.
Feel it to remember it.
Precisely. And finally, don't underestimate repetition and pattern, rhythm, structure, loops. They help carve pathways in the brain. It's not just for kids' songs, so it really pushes us to think, are we just passively, consuming information, just reading or listening? Or are we actively transforming it? Are we making it surprising, engaging, visual, emotional? Are we making it memorable the way this book does?
It's quite something. As we wrap up this deep dive, it's pretty incredible how just a simple walk with a turtle, with a pig and pudding and a squirrel playing a trumpet, how that can teach us so much about how memory fundamentally works. Makes me wish my old history textbooks had been a bit more adventurous. Maybe George Washington on a unicycle crossing the Delaware. I'd remember that.
Well, maybe not quite, but the core idea holds. Effective learning, truly effective learning at any age, it often comes down to making the information dynamic, engaging, even, a little bit silly. It's not just about fun. It's about aligning with how our brains are actually wired to hold on to things. It's about making it stick.
So for you, our listener, here's maybe a final thought to chew on, something provocative perhaps. Think about how often really complex ideas are best grasped when you break them down, when you find those memorable, maybe even whimsical components inside them. What silly sights or animal delights could you invent to help you remember your next big challenge? That